I think the real shock may not be Jason Morgan escaping the WSB. The real shock could be that Jason never escapes on his own at all. What if someone lets him out? What if someone reaches into that hidden facility in Jakarta, pulls Jason out of the darkness, and sends him back to Port Charles with one secret mission? And what if the person behind all of it is Sidwell? That is the possibility I cannot stop thinking about, because it seems like Jason's return may be much more dangerous than a simple prison break. He may not come back as a free man. He may come back as part of a deal made in secret, a deal built on betrayal, a deal that could force Jason to do the one thing Sidwell needs most: remove Ross Cullum before Cullum destroys everything. Right now, the official looking story around Jason is already messy. Jason took the blame for shooting Cullum, even though it seems very possible that Rocco was the one who actually pulled the trigger. Jason did what Jason always does. He protected someone younger, someone vulnerable, someone who could have been crushed by the WSB if the truth came out. But if Cullum is still alive, then Jason's sacrifice may not have solved the problem. It may have only delayed it, and that could mean Rocco is still in danger. It could also mean Danny is in danger. That is where this theory becomes so dark, because if Cullum knows, or even suspects, that Jason lied to protect Rocco, then Cullum may have leverage over more than one family in Port Charles. He could expose Rocco. He could threaten Danny. He could use Jason's confession as a weapon. And if Cullum is tied to something bigger inside the WSB, something connected to Sidwell, and possibly even the remains of Faison's final plan, then the truth may be much more complicated than anyone wants to admit. I do not think Sidwell would save Jason out of kindness. That would be too easy and honestly too unbelievable. But I do think Sidwell could save Jason if saving Jason benefits Sidwell. It seems like Cullum may have become too dangerous, too reckless, or too powerful. Sidwell may have worked with him, but that does not mean Sidwell trusts him. In fact, it is very possible that Sidwell now sees Cullum as a liability. If Cullum knows too much, Sidwell has a problem. If Cullum can expose Sidwell's role in everything, Sidwell has an even bigger problem. And if Cullum has started making his own moves inside the WSB, then Sidwell may decide that betrayal is not only useful, but necessary. That is where Jason comes in. Jason is the perfect weapon because he already has a reason to go after Cullum. He already has a personal stake. He already has the skills to disappear, strike, and vanish before anyone can prove what happened. And most importantly, Jason can be pushed into action if Danny is threatened. Sidwell may know that. He may understand that Jason would never ignore danger to his son. So if Sidwell comes to Jason with proof, or even partial proof, that Cullum may target Danny, Jason may have no real choice. That does not mean Jason would trust Sidwell. I do not think Jason would believe a word Sidwell says without questioning it. But if Jason hears that Danny could be used as revenge, and if he hears that Rocco could still be exposed, then the risk may be too great to ignore. Jason may accept Sidwell's help while knowing the entire thing could be a trap. And that is what makes this possible storyline so tense. Sidwell could secretly arrange Jason's escape from the WSB facility, not loudly, not with chaos, not in a way that looks like a heroic action sequence. It could happen quietly, like someone inside the system making a file disappear, moving a prisoner, creating a false transfer, or cutting off surveillance just long enough for Jason to be taken out. By the time the WSB realizes Jason is gone, he may already be on his way back to Port Charles. But if Jason returns this way, he cannot return openly. He cannot walk into Carly's house. He cannot go straight to Sunny. He cannot show up in front of Danny. He cannot let anyone know he is back. Because if Cullum learns Jason is free, Danny and Rocco may become immediate targets. So Jason may have to move through Port Charles like a ghost, close enough to protect the people he loves, but far enough away that they do not know he is there. That could create a painful emotional layer. I can imagine Jason watching Danny from a distance, unable to speak to him, unable to explain, unable to be a father in the way he wants to be. It may seem cold to everyone else, but Jason may believe distance is the only way to keep Danny alive, and that is classic Jason. He carries the pain privately. He takes the blame. He chooses silence when the truth could hurt someone else. Rocco's role could make this even heavier. If Rocco really is the person Jason protected, then Cullum becomes more than a villain. Cullum becomes the one living threat who can destroy that cover story. As long as Cullum is alive, the truth can come out. As long as Cullum is alive, Rocco can be dragged into the WSB's world. And if that happens, Dante, Lulu, Laura, and everyone connected to Rocco could be pulled into a crisis they may not be able to control. So when I look at this theory, I do not see Jason going after Cullum only because Sidwell asks him to. I see Jason going after Cullum because Cullum may be the last piece standing between Rocco and safety, between Danny and danger, between Jason's sacrifice and total failure. But the dangerous part is that Sidwell may be using all of that. Sidwell may know exactly how to make Jason move. He may know that Jason will not ignore a child in danger. He may know that Jason will put himself at risk if Danny's name is involved. He may know that Jason's loyalty can be turned into a weapon. And if that is true, then Sidwell rescuing Jason may not be a rescue at all. It may be the beginning of control. It is very possible that Sidwell wants Cullum gone because Cullum stands in his way. Maybe Cullum has control over information Sidwell needs. Maybe Cullum has become too visible. Maybe Cullum is planning to betray Sidwell first. Or maybe Sidwell wants Jason to eliminate Cullum so the WSB investigation points toward Jason and away from him. That possibility changes everything. Because if Jason kills Cullum, or if Cullum ends up dead after Jason returns, the WSB will not look at Sidwell first. They will look at Jason. Jason already confessed to shooting Cullum once. Jason already has motive. Jason already has the history. Sidwell could hide behind that while Jason becomes the obvious suspect. And Jason may know that risk, but he may still take the deal because Danny matters more. That is why this storyline could become so powerful. It is not just about action. It is about Jason being forced into another impossible choice. If he stays away, Danny and Rocco may be exposed. If he returns, he walks into Sidwell's trap. If he kills Cullum, he may protect the children but become a fugitive again. If he refuses, Cullum may strike first. No choice is clean. I also think this could create tension with Sonny and Carly if they eventually discover the truth. Carly may be furious that Jason came back and did not tell her. Sonny may understand the mission, but he may not like that Jason made a deal with Sidwell. And Danny may be hurt most of all because the person Jason is trying to protect could feel abandoned before he ever learns the truth. That is the emotional twist I think General Hospital could lean into. Jason may return to save Danny, but Danny may not know that. Jason may risk everything for Rocco, but Rocco may never understand the full cost. And Sidwell may stand in the middle of all of it, holding secrets that could destroy Jason even after Cullum is gone. Britt, Brennan, Joss, and Valentine could also become important pieces in this. It seems possible that each of them may discover part of the truth without seeing the whole picture. Brennan may sense something wrong inside the WSB. Joss may follow a clue that points back to Cullum. Valentine may suspect Sidwell is playing both sides. Britt may be the one person who realizes Jason is closer than anyone thinks. But none of them may understand that Jason's return is tied to a secret agreement that could explode at any moment. And that is why Cullum's possible downfall may not feel like an ending. It may feel like the start of something worse. If Jason succeeds, Sidwell may still have power over him. Sidwell may still know the truth about Rocco. Sidwell may still know how Jason got out of WSB custody. Sidwell may still have proof of their deal. And if Sidwell can use that against Jason, then Jason may discover that escaping the WSB was only the first prison. The second prison could be the debt he owes Sidwell. So I keep coming back to the same chilling idea. Jason may not return to Port Charles as the man who escaped. He may return as the man Sidwell released for a purpose. Cullum may be the target. Danny may be the pressure point. Rocco may be the secret. And Sidwell may be the hidden hand moving everything from the shadows. And if that is where the story is going, then Jason's biggest danger may not be the WSB. It may not even be Cullum. It may be the man who saves him first. Because if Sidwell is the reason Jason comes home, then the real question is not whether Jason can stop Cullum. The real question is whether Jason can protect Danny, protect Rocco, survive the deal, and still escape the man who opened the door.